Yo, what's good, my people? What's happening? Welcome to the Friday edition of the Bliss Pickup. You already know, you know what I'm saying? It might be happy hour time. We got in right before 8 o'clock, so you're not that look. That boy put TikTok. They already shout out to any time after 7:30. Yeah, y'all already going at it in the chat. So I get it. Listen, I get it. It's Friday, you know what I'm saying? We always a little later than usual. But listen, man, we got a couple topics we're gonna get into. I'm getting a little frustrated with these what should I call them? Ex GMs, these specialists, whatever you want to call them. We gonna get into that. And also, we're gonna get into these PFL people as well. How I think analytics are killing the sports. Period. Not even football, just sports in general. I think it's killing it. And we're gonna pick a side today. So Coach GM. But listen, before I do that, let me bring up my co-host real quick. Lou, what's good, my brother? Hit the dislike button. We inside. Hey, yo.
Everything is good, Tone. But damn, bro, we have to start like this. I mean,
That's
do
how
we
he
really have
start
to
off
start
on a
like this? That's
Friday.
crazy. That's
Yo,
crazy.
that is kind of wild. Um, Listen, man. Shout out to the Mod Squad. Shout out to the chat. Y'all in here early start talking trash. Lou, you care to translate that for me, man?
That's my man, True Fin Fan, basically telling the boys to have a good weekend and
Oh, that's a
stay safe and stuff.
that's
So
a
shout out
fact.
to True, man.
Kelvin, I see you in the building early.
Oh,
I
Kelvin's in here. That's one of them. That's one of them fake general managers you were talking about.
Furniture. Oh, no. I thought you were going to say Trenton.
Oh,
He said good morning. Gato the Lion said good morning. I wonder where you from, Gato. Is it good morning over there? Good morning to you, my brother. Shake Money, I see you in the building. Chef Drew. Listen, man, welcome. It's already early concrete. Y'all, you know what I'm saying? We start. He say, hey, Tony, don't want to hear for the
hey,
march.
hey, hey, Tony,
Hey,
you doing 3 round mock drafts for all 32
yo,
teams?
yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I was down there listening. I'm like, first of all, let's clear that room up. I don't mind. I wouldn't mind doing my mock draft. I know Lewis. Lewis, he just like to scream and yell and argue. You know what I'm saying? But listen, we technically did do a mock draft. But that wasn't neither one of our decisions. Lou, you threw me right on the. I'm like, no, we was up there talking about it, and then they brought the mock draft on the on stage, so we just
Me,
went through
me
it
and
like
that,
that.
me and Alex were set up by Tony. He wanted to do a mock draft, man.
So, I'm saying, but nah, man. Hey, listen, shout out to the people getting in, doing their mock drafts and getting their hopes up. It never pans out. I did a couple of them last year, but no, we didn't have the show last year, so I get, I get why people are enamored by them because they get to do what they want. But yeah, most of them are not realistic. I wonder how many other GMs and I don't know if you want to call it what you call them capologists. I wonder how many of them are getting the picks right in their mock drafts. Because I did hear you say something about last season. You saw a lot of people putting out their mock draft, but not one of them have Patrick Paul.
Well, Tony, again, Tone.
Yo,
Now you just admitted we didn't have the show last year, but you admitted you did a couple mock drafts, correct?
yes, last year, yes, sir.
How many of your mock drafts do you remember Patrick Paul being in any of your mock drafts?
Not one.
Okay, cool. Now we established that. Now I'm pretty sure you've seen other people's mock drafts last
Yes,
year,
yes.
correct?
I seen multiple.
How many
Lot,
how many
not
mock drafts you seen
never.
Patrick Paul in?
None. None of them.
Oh,
So,
okay. All right. Well, cool.
but you
All right.
know what? Maybe they was learning, so now they're gonna start deep diving. They're gonna start deep diving into the smaller schools. Listen, they're gonna do that in more in depth detail. When it comes down to doing a mock draft and scouting players. Oh man, here we go. Here we go. I had Patrick Paul in mind. Y'all just not tapped in like me.
That's a fact. That
Thank
way,
you.
word,
This is the
word.
guy. Everybody wanted Jackson Powers Jr. Or what Jackson Powers, whatever his name. But yes, everybody wanted him. JJJ, they was calling him. That's who everyone they was on him. It was Jackson Powers or fire him, all kind of things. So
I just want to know. I know Kelvin is, the guy I listen to about trenches, right?
Trent,
I just want to know.
is
Did Kelvin have Patrick Paul in his mock draft last year?
uh not to my recollection.
Oh damn!
uh, I don't know. He probably was. He probably had more of a realistic draft. Listen, before we get in, he said, "Hell no!" Look what he put. JPJ. Yeah, there you go. Dre, JPJ, and Graham Burton. That's who everybody was pounding the table for. Facts. He said, I did 27 mock draft lose. I saw Patrick Paul in 23 of those mock draft on other teams." Oh man. No, Big Cat and DDW, Dougie D Ron had Chopper in theirs, but in later round. Right. I haven't seen a Patrick Paul yet, though. I haven't seen a Patrick Paul yet. Hey, but listen, make sure y'all hit that like button on the way in. Remember, hey, the next episode Monday, it's gonna be our 100. I said 1,000. See, I'm speaking into this, our 100 episodes. So you know what I'm saying? We got to 100. It came up so fast. We didn't even expect it to seem this. It came soon, right, Lewis? Like I had to look up and like, yo, we almost at 100. We've been doing it. You know, we look like a couple of vets already, Lou. We don't look like a You think we've been doing pretty good on our our small YouTube channel?
Hey. Yeah, for us being young, up and coming, yeah, on this small YouTube channel, I think we're doing fine. Now, I will say, I do feel bad that I've had like 98 victories out of our 100 shows.
I mean,
I'm sorry about that.
to each
Hopefully,
his
you
own,
can
man.
get better. Hopefully, you can get better for the next 100. You know what
Hey,
I'm saying?
listen, man. It's like battle rap. This is all subjective, so you can say whatever you want. You can say whatever you want. You feel like you won, cool. I'm gonna let you have that. I know I won. I'm gonna give you a clear view of it. You know what I'm saying? It ain't leave yet. You hear me? That belt ain't go nowhere.
That's still at the crib.
Facts, where it belong. But
you haven't sent that yet? Damn, that's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I did send it to myself. Like I would, I get it. You had maybe one or two good showing. But speaking of belts and all that, let's talk about these champion GMs or things of that nature. Well, I did want to address a certain issue as far as the first topic we're gonna get in is you heard that new topic if you know,
well, according, there's going to be a lot of new topics getting talked about. Tone, that's crazy.
You say that's cap. That's cap because Chad is undefeated. We straight 3-0 over here, Tony. Oh, these 30 people. I get it, 3-0. You know what? Chad is undefeated, so we'll give y'all that. We'll give y'all that. The Chad is undefeated. But talk to me a little bit about, because I did address it a little bit on X, right? But obviously we give them more content over here. About when you hear these, and I'm just trolling when I'm talking about Twitter GMs. I'm really talking about the beat writers, the people that you hear talking, and every time they bring up players and the way that who they think that they're going to be like, and their comp and all this type of things. All of a sudden nowadays they're adding in Matrix and they're adding in what you call those things, the analytics. Like, why? Oh, this guy ran 25 miles per hour, so he ran 25 hours, so they closed. That's a comp. This guy graded out to be this in college. This guy graded out to be this while he was in college. So they all of a sudden they're a comp. And sometimes you look at it, like some of these people are not even close to each other. They just got similar draft grades. What do you think about analytics and the way people are using them nowadays? Do you think it's too much? Do you think there's a place in sports for it? Or what are your overall thoughts about that? Who will make the best GM in the Dolphin community? Clearly,
that would be me.
Lewis. Clearly, Lewis, because it'd be his word and nothing else.
that would be me. Yeah. I promise you one thing: you would know who to blame or who to give praise to. I promise you that. we wouldn't have none of this collective. But no, Tone, no, listen, is there a place for analytics, EPA, pie charts, and all the stats, right? Absolutely, right? There's a place for it. But when it's the end all be all, and when organizations try to make that the end all be all, let me throw out a couple names, right? Because you brought up some of these college players since we're getting close to the draft.
Right.
So Liam Eichenberg in college didn't give up a sack in 4 years.
Facts.
What do you think those metrics look like?
Off the charts.
That would be off the charts, right?
Can't miss.
Now everybody tells me he's trash though. So what happened to the analytics and the EPAs and the pie charts that show you he didn't give up a sack in college?
That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Nothing happened to him, Tone. You know why? Because none of that shit matters. Because you know what analytics and EPAs and pie charts, you know what they cannot dictate? On the field.
Fact.
When a guy is matched up one-on-one against you, it's you're either going to lose or you're going to win that battle. Right? Numbers don't come into that equation. It's never dawned on me when I'm watching a football game and two players are about to engage, and then it's like, how can I put it? You'll see like the play stops, and all of a sudden you see, well, this guy has an 86% stop win rate of this. Bro, shut the hell up. None of that shit matters. Right? Like, can you win your overall number, the one-on-one matchups? Can you beat the guy that's in front of you? That's what matters. So I guess long-winded answer to kind of get to the point. Do you need analytics? I would say yes, right? There's a portion of the game that should be ran with numbers and stats, but it just can't be the end-all be-all. And Tone, you know how this thing goes. Anytime there's a debate, and whatever side that you want to be on, like when me and you debate, if you want to be negative, you can go find stats and metrics and numbers to make your side of the argument a negative, right? You can find the stats for it. And I can do the same thing with the positive. So at that point, once you've made your point with the analytics and I've made my point with the analytics, right? Okay, now to where do we go? Well, let's go to the eye test. And the eye test, we probably agree a hell of a lot more if we just put the numbers away. So yes, numbers, stats, analytics, pie charts, EPAs, and all the other shit that people want to come up with in 2025. Yes, you do need it, but it can't be the end all be all. If you're gonna talk to me about EPA pie charts and that's it, right? If that's all you got, bro, just tell me you don't know football without telling me you don't know football. It is what it is.
Hey, I got a question. Who you think had better analytics coming out of college, Tebow or Big Ben?
Oh, I would say Tebow for sure.
Tebow or Joe Flacco?
Joe Flacco played at Delaware. Shit, I'm gonna say Tebow.
Facts. Tebow was off the charts.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he was beloved. He had everything going for him. He was a winner. You know, because I do like winners, and I like, one thing about it, I will give him, and I think Denver did a good job with giving up an opportunity. And listen, he gave them a playoff victory. He went to Pittsburgh, right? He went to Pittsburgh and beat Pittsburgh in Pittsburgh. What wasn't it with the walk-off touchdown, if I'm not mistaken? So he was a winner. But you know what happens? He's a quarterback. And if you put on a film, now you put on his analytics, they look great. Like he made this play at this time, and he made this great throw at this time, and he scored, and the percentage of him scoring from outside of the 20-yard line, it was 0 to none, but he made it happen. So he's going to grade off the charts. But when you put on the film and you watch him, you see that he's basically playing backyard football. It was called Tebow time. Remember Tebow time? Because at the end of the game, when everything breaks down and he just make plays with his feet and he just play reckless, that's when he played his best football. We knew this going into college because you watch him on film. Now, real analytics and people that does their research and they go scouts and they look at it guess what? They like, he can't win from the pocket with consistency. That's what you really need in the NFL for that to work. Like you have to at least develop. You remember they tried to change. He had an elongated throw motion. He did. They tried to shorten it up. Now, I'm sorry. I don't need analytics to for my common sense to come out. Common sense to tell you it's not going to be an easy transition. He's been throwing like this since a kid. Since he was at McNeese High School. I think that's what you call it, McNeese High School. He was breaking all the records. Or Nice. I think it's called Nice. He was breaking all the records, right? He's been throwing like that. So if you think it was going to be a smooth transition to the NFL in a year or two, no, that's just common sense would have told me, no, that's not going to happen. But analytics. You know what? I do think it has a place in sports, but I think it should be. It should be to like how the NFL Premium Plus is. Give the fans a tool to look at. Give the fans a tool to talk about. But when it start becoming a focal point of your decision making and showing up in football analytics, I mean not football, but football decisions, and the reason you do this because the analytics say that, and the reason that you call this play because analytics say, oh shucks, I'm still live, Lou.
Yeah, you good.
Yo, shit, my hold on then, my take over real quick, cause my monitor just went out real quick.
All right, you good. I got you.
Yeah.
Yeah, so basically what Tony's trying to say is analytics is trash.
Yo.
That's basically what it is. Listen, if you're still playing with analytics and EPAs and pie charts, again, you didn't get the girls out of high school. That just it is what it is. Nah.
All right, I'm back.
Again, bro, listen. All right.
Ran over my damn cord. I didn't even know my cord was. All right, so yeah. When it comes to when it start interfering in decision making and the reason that you calling plays and certain things and the analytics say you run a pass play here, no sir. Like let's stop. Let's stick to fans, stick to something that keep our attention, because that's the problem with the fans nowadays, or people in general that's coming up. The attention span is so short nowadays, so you have to always give them. You got to always give them something to change, like some kind of change. Switch it up. They came out with the next gen stats. Cool. Now everyone liked to see the little routes ran with the little wiggly lines and all that. Cool. That's nice. But I don't need that having no bearing on the type of player we bring in. No bearing on the type of plays we call, the type of offense we gonna run. And I think it's hurting us for the most part. Luke, and I know we said this before. Mike McDaniel used analytics to decide how soon he's gonna bring people off of injury. What? Like it's starting to get too much. We need to just listen. Let's take a chill pill. Maybe I'm old school, Lou, and maybe I'm just stuck in my own ways. But I don't think analytics ever helped anyone win a video game, a Super Bowl. I just no. Like when you start to, you cannot bring in basically schoolwork in a gladiator sport. Because the best gladiators, they weren't the smartest people on earth, but they could fight. They understood how to work a sword. They understood how to defeat their opponent. You don't need analytics for that. You just need to know how to be skilled. Teach me a technique and that's it. So, yeah, I'm not, but it's killing me. And now, why did I bring that up? Like for the
Tone,
most part.
Tone, you said you're old school. Well, damn it, I think I'm old school then too. Because remember Bruce Smith? You remember Bruce Smith from Buffalo?
Bruce Smith, yes.
I don't need analytics to show me he was a good player. I didn't need EPA charts and pie graphs to show me that he was a Hall of Famer. Richmond Webb, I'm talking about just guys in general. If you're good, bro. You can see it. You don't need all these numbers and analytics and to justify all this and complete. Stop, man. I just don't know where the game that we both fell in love with, and not only in football, basketball, baseball, whatever. It's all about numbers and analytics and a bunch of shit that at the end of the day, when the actual game is playing, none of that shit matters, bro. None of it matters. It's the
And he
truth. Like,
he said PFF per PFF Javon Holland is a Hall of Fame safety.
thank you. Like, what are we talking about?
Yo, that's kind of crazy. Yep, Tebow was Mr. RPO. That's a fact, and it just killed him off.
But it's the
It
truth
was
right
one.
there when he said PFF has Javon Holland as a Hall of Fame. But that's a true statement. Now listen to how crazy that sounds. But he's absolutely right. If you just go by the numbers, right? And Tone, you know this because we've been on private conversations with other people in the community, right? And
Right?
that's their argument. Well, in this game, he graded out in this and this. Are you talking? So he graded out good. The team lost. He graded out good, but he didn't make no game-changing plays. Like, he didn't affect the game at all, but he graded out at an 86. So what the hell does that even mean?
Facts. Like, what did he grade out when the game was on the line and he couldn't get the job done? What was the grade right then and there? You know, the overall game the overall grade don't take into consideration clutch moments. It doesn't. Like, you could have an amazing game and make one terrible decision at the end of the game when it matters most. You still gonna grade out really good. That's the problem with analytics. They don't take into consideration the moment. They don't take into consideration the time, down and distance, the impact that it had on the game. No, you can't. No, I'm sorry. Vonjo, this is wild. Yo, Vonjo, you wildin'. But yeah, and that leads into my next topic, Lou. Well, I was listening and dang, it was shucks, I forgot the dude name. And I'm listening to the draft. God talking. I wish I could remember the name. You know, I like give him credit. And all I hear them talking about is people's shuttle runs, people's 40 time, people's high jump. Oh, the last person that did this, he was that. The last person that ran this, he was that. The last person that graded out, he was that. Now, I'll even give him credit. It's cool from a fan base, you know, because when I saw Nick Emenwari on the combine, I came back, I was real excited. I'm like, that's generational. But the thing that made me, when Lewis started bringing them up, that made me go and say, oh, okay, I'll mess with him because I turned on the film. I started watching some of his games. And I'm like, okay, he's showing up. Remember what the first thing you told me to look at, Lewis, when I was going to do some scouting on him? You said, go look at his big-time games. When he played them big boys in SEC, go look how he performed.
Absolutely.
And I said, okay, because that what mattered. That what mattered. This is a fact, Billy Batson. 40 times for a trench player is nasty work. The receiver for Coleman, Keon Coleman, he did an interview earlier this year after the combine, and they were asking him about I forgot who the big dude was, and he didn't run as well as he thought. Keon Coleman said, so what? He said, why is the offensive lineman even running 40s? What do they have to do with what they're going to be doing on the field? He said, man, to be honest with you, I think the combine is there so they can find something to where they don't have to draft you as high. Or they can find something to justify why they want to raise you up on the draft charts. Do you notice the people that raise up and usually be favorites? And you be like, oh, he's starting to raise up, and yeah, because he had a great combine. But what happens when the ones that start out as favorites, right? They don't do so well in the combine. What do they go do? Sir? You know what? I understand he didn't do so well, but just turn on the film. Film don't lie. Oh, now all of a sudden, the tape matters when it's someone that I had deemed that great player and he don't show up and perform in the combine.
In the combine.
Now all of a sudden it's like, okay, no, just turn on the tape. And I'm telling you, he stands out to you.
Hey, Tone, you remember? I think he got drafted by Cincinnati. Remember that receiver for John Ross? I believe his name was.
Yes, he ran like the 4.2 or whatever.
He
it was.
ran a 4.28 or something like that at the combine.
Yeah,
that man I think finished his career with like 11 catches in the NFL.
Oh, for real, like, bro, it's kind of wild and crazy. So that's all I want people to just, just think about that when it comes to decision making, especially when it comes to who we supposed to, or who we even thinking about drafting and bringing in for the Dolphins. Okay, cool. He run fast. Okay, cool. He not a get inside in and out of cones quick. He can switch his hips. Do that translate to the field though? That's all I'm asking. Does it translate to the field? If it translates to the field, okay, cool. We'll run with that all day. But if it don't translate to the field, then so what? How think you think Deion Jordan? How you think Deion Jordan did in draft? I bet he did amazing. I bet he got graded off the charts.
Combine warrior.
What's his name? Jamarcus Russell wowed everyone in the draft. I mean, in the combine, especially with that arm strength, wowed everyone. One of the biggest busts in history. How you think Trent Richardson looked in the combine? Trent Richardson went 3rd overall as a running back. As a running back. You know how highly touted you have to be.
You see, no. Hold on, real quick, Tone. I'm so sorry, but this is why I don't like Kelvin right here.
Oh, here you go.
You see, he actually had 63 catches for not. Bro, stop. The man played 8 years. He had 63
how many
catches.
years?
And you got your bird chest poked out because the man has 63 catches. Man, get out of here, Kelvin.
Oh man. Yo,
no, I'm just playing. Hey, Kelvin's one of my favorite people in the community, by the way. I just want
Kelvin say we gonna speak facts over here. That's what Kelvin said.
Yeah. My bad, Kelvin. I got a little emotional right there, Kelvin. You know you're my guy. My bad.
Hey, that's a little wild, Vondro. I'm not gonna lie. That's a little wild.
Hey, Tone. You know exactly what Kelvin did. He went straight to the numbers and analytics.
Analytics.
We sit in there talking about numbers and analytics, and that's exactly where Kelvin
went to that graph and that pie chart. That's what he did. But when it called on PFF. But yeah, so I just want us to not forget about what's actually really important. That's them because they called out the fraud Raheem Mostert. Yo, that's crazy. Hate on him because he's bitter. So yeah, I just want people to take that into consideration because I said this on the Spaces the other day. I heard people basically trying to downplay Nick Emenwari because he didn't run a couple of drills, cone drills, and saying that his hips are stiff and he can't open it. Okay, cool. I also pointed out that they had the same concern for Cam Chancellor. Said just go look at his scouting report. Same concern. Can't jump his hip quick enough. Can't get in and out of break soon. Won't be able to follow receivers around. That was his scouting report. Go look at him. But he was probably the Legion of Boom. Why? Because on field is what mattered. My hips swing and do whatever it needs to do when I got to go out there and make tackles. When I got to go out there and dislodge the football from the opponents. It worked just fine with my skills on the football field. And this is the thing that I'm saying. Don't let it cloud your judgment and take away from what the players are actually doing on the field. That way saying nothing wrong with RB. Oh, I see what he said that for. So for anyone that want to use cones and drills, and when people out there and what they call the underwear Olympics, if people want to, albeit, but I'm not going to let that cloud my judgment when I see what the man can do on the field. When I can see what he done in the SEC, I might add you. And another one, you know who I did see? You know, let me get your opinion because I know I'm a trenches guy, but I want to get your opinion on the guy in the trenches. What do you and chat? Y'all chime in because I want y'all opinion. What do you think? How do you think Patrick Paul looked last season with the limited snaps that he had?
I thought he was, I thought he was okay, right? Like I didn't have no big expectation for him. Again, bro, Tone, me and you we weren't, physically around each other during the draft, but we were on the same show together when the draft was going on. And we were both like, who the hell is this guy when he got drafted?
That's facts. That is a
Right?
fact.
So from that standpoint, I would say he played in a limited role the time he was on the field. I think he put some good tape out there. I would say he had a good, you know, some good plays. Right now, as an offensive lineman, everybody's going to get beat, bro. You could be the best offensive lineman, and you're going to get beat. So for a young player, and in my opinion, with not a lot of expectations of maybe getting on the field as a rookie, I thought, I thought he played well, in my opinion.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. True Fan Fan been cooking today. He said, "Love this show and topic, man. Just like how many guys who threw the ball 70 yards were butts. Facts. I use that example all the time. True Fan Fan. How often are you gonna throw the ball 70 yards in a football game anyway? A lot of greatness is wrapped in packages, not just one thing. That's a fact. Kelvin said, I think he looked solid. Oh, he didn't wow anybody. He didn't wow anybody, but he didn't look like Liam. That's a low set. That's a low bar to set. You remember? I remember specifically watching him on certain plays, and I was like, he wasn't looking too bad. Now you seen where his technique got the best of him at times, and that game he had against what's his name, Myles Garrett. The game he had against Myles Garrett. Listen, we can forget about that. Forget about that one. That wasn't his best game. I would say that. But Myles Garrett made everyone look like a fool that day. Matter of fact, Myles Garrett is some people say the number one edge rusher in the league. He's been putting on. Cleveland defense have been in the top 10 since he's been there. So I expect, hey, listen, those type of games, you game plan around those type of people. The fact that they had him one time, they had a tight end on him, he got completely destroyed, and that's coaching. I'm sorry, that's coaching. I don't care who you got on your line. You do not block Myles Garrett one-on-one.
Now, real quick, Tone. Not to get off topic, real quick. Well, it's not even off topic because I'm gonna talk about the guy we're talking about, Myles Garrett. And I see a lot of people in the chat, like Anthony, right? And again, I'm not shooting at Anthony, but the comment right here of Myles Garrett makes even the elite tackles look like
plebeians. I think he meant to say pedestrians.
Pedestrian. I think that's what he was trying to say. Yeah. So let me just say this,
I don't know what
right?
plebeian is. I'm gonna tell you live.
Me neither. Sounds like a plutocrat if you ask me. I don't know.
I graduated high school. I ain't go to college, y'all.
Yeah, I'm telling you, they didn't say those words in the streets.
Public school at that.
Yeah. But I think he was trying to say pedestrian. The problem I have, though, Myles Garrett, we can't just say he makes tackles look bad because he lines up all over the defensive line, right? Inside, outside, or whatever.
Yes.
Now, this is my problem, Tom, right? So we're talking about him matching up against Patrick Paul. And Patrick Paul, we can all admit, he had a bad day against Myles Garrett. Cool. Mm-hmm. But you know what the Dolphin fans also tell me, Tom? That the Dolphins have the worst offensive line and has been one of the worst for years, right? You remember not last season.
I know where you're going. You remember
a couple of years ago when we played Cleveland?
And Khalil Mack.
Khalil Mack, remember Khalil Mack with the Chargers and
Joey Bosa? Both of them was on that team. Yeah.
Remember Mack, that game against Myles Garrett and the Cleveland Browns? Do you know how many sacks they had as a team?
None. Did they have one?
They had zero.
Not
after the game. Remember it must have been during Halloween because Myles Garrett was putting up names of all the quarterbacks in his yard that he had sacks against. Remember those pictures?
Mm-hmm.
And everybody came out and say, "Well, he didn't touch Tua."
Didn't touch Tua.
Well, how in the hell does that work with the worst offensive line in the league?
It's not adding up. The math not mapping.
And I think they also had Jadeveon Clowney on that same team when we played them too. It was Jadeveon.
Yeah, Clowney. What's
it called?
And remember we played Max Crosby. I don't think Max Crosby sacked
Max Crosby didn't get Tua, right? And again, I'm just saying, bro. Like sometimes, again, what we got to do a better job as fans, as just to come out and say, well, and I'll use Tua for the example. When we come out and say Tua's trash, we not listen. We know he's not trash. He's not the greatest,
Yeah.
is what we mean by that, right? And when we come out and we just say, well, the offensive line is trash, I don't believe that the offensive line is trash. They're just not the greatest. But could you get the job done behind that offensive line? I just, again, when we're talking about things like this, I have seen them, right, do a good job against that vaunted Cleveland defense. I have seen that offensive line do good against the Max Crosbys, against the Joey Bosa's and the Khalil Mack. But I guess the point I'm trying to get at, Tone, is we don't talk about that though. We just
Right.
talk about the 4 plays when Liam Eichenberg was on his ass.
Right.
That's what we'll highlight. But we won't highlight a 60-minute game where Myles Garrett was non-existent. We'll leave that game alone though, right?
That's a fact.
So I'm just saying, bro, like I hate when we do this and we're like trash and this and that. I don't listen. We all understand the offensive line has to be upgraded, and yeah, everybody has to be better. But I just think it's a little crazy when we go, well, they're just trash and this and that, and people like you and Kelvin start lying to the community and saying trenches.
Trenches.
Nah, bro. Let's
Hey,
calm down a little bit.
Von Joe helping us out with the trenches debate. He said, "Well, Lewis, that's when you move the goalpost and say it's because Tua get rid of the ball so quickly."
You know, yeah. Again, man, and this is why I hate our chat. This is why I hate our chat, man. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Hey, check it. So yeah, just like I said, I think, and I saw. I don't know whose space it was, but I saw people putting up. I've been hearing in the fan base. I started going on YouTube and checking out different channels, because I've been completely oblivious to a lot of the YouTube channels. I'll be honest with you. The one that I knew was just it was when I started coming around. I knew TFTG because that was the first people that gave me an opportunity to get on the camera. I knew Pete's channel because obviously that's my brother. And to be honest with you, outside of that, I didn't watch no Dolphin content. So Lewis put me up on TD and Dougley Do Wrong. So I didn't really watch them. Then
you
Sanity
knew
put me
about
up on Miss Fins.
you knew about me though, right, Tom?
No, I didn't even know. I didn't even know you was the YouTube. I didn't even know you. I knew you up there in the they used to call them the hate spaces. That's what they. That's how I knew you
Are you
about.
trying to say you didn't know me because I was hanging around all these little YouTube channels? Is that why you didn't know me? That's crazy, man.
I didn't even know. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, so I started doing. Now I do go watch the TDs. I do go watch the Dougie Do-Wrongs. His is pre-recorded. So I do go around. I watch Miss Fan mostly every morning. And the TFTG channel, I'll go watch and I'll just listen to some of these channels. And then lately, some random Dolphin channels been popping up. So I guess they get in my algorithm and I start listening to people. And more, which is kind of why I be putting up these titles and talking about these topics. I start seeing people bringing up PFF grades to grade people out. Now I'm just saying. He said, Lewis was the leader of the hate spaces. Boo that man, we inside.
Well, again, no, put that comment back up. No, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it real quick, Tone.
Oh, no.
Go. I just want everybody to know that, and again, this is my guy, right? Dre, right? Dre used to co-host some of those hate spaces with me. I just want you to know he used to be the co-host with me in some of those hate spaces. Oh. Shout out to my guy Dre, man.
Hey Dre, first 48. Hey, so
Dre used to co-host them hate spaces.
So yeah, I'm just listening to people, and I even see a couple of different fan base channels from time to time. And a lot of them use arguments and they bring up PFFs. And I'm like, so then I get to a channel and they were talking about Patrick Paul and they were saying that they don't like him. They basically don't like him. They think he shouldn't be a starter. They don't think he's ready. Lou, I couldn't say this now, I don't say it, but your homeboy too. I don't remember what day it was. It was a couple of days. It was a couple of days ago. I don't know what show it was, so I'm not gonna Say I knew it shorter because I've been watching our good friend, our tour, fellow tour. That's the statement I'm looking for. Our fellow tour TD, and he said he can't. He thinks Patrick Paul is trash. He was one of the ones that said that. He said we're doomed if he got to start. Then I turn on X and Twitter, and I see people dropping the what you call them PFF grades on Patrick Paul, saying that he was trash. I think they say he graded out like a 60 something or 50. I don't remember 58. I think it was either 64 or 58. One of them. And I'm like, bro, I remember coming on here watching the film saying he's not giving you Teron Armstead level. But I remember, you remember we came in the first game, we watched him drive a player all the way out of bounds. You remember that? Even when the play was over with?
I think that was during the preseason though, if I'm not mistaken.
That's what I'm saying. When he played.
Drive him out of bounds.
Then we came in here, we watched him. Thank you for. We said we need to see it translate to the regular season. And yo, Jay Wiley, we need to see it translate to the regular season. He got a regular season. I don't think he was that bad. I'm sorry. I don't think he was that bad. Now, I don't think he was ready to be a full-time starter, but I think the production that you could have got out of him, because, bro, there's a lot of offensive linemen that their team let them get that, experience, and then they develop them that way. Now, some people just don't deserve to be on the field because they're going to get your quarterback killed. I don't think he played to where he was going to get our quarterback killed. Now, did he need improvement his technique a lot? Yeah, we knew that when he was coming up. Once we found out who he was, we started doing some homework on him. We knew that coming out of college. He tended to bend a little bit, get out of position. Okay, cool. He's cool. He's tall. Those things are gonna happen to him. He has to learn how to use his leverage. He has to learn how to stay in his stance and stay up under people. That's cool. But to come to think that he can't develop and improve, I don't see that. So for us to be thinking like it's gonna be doomsday if Teron Armstead all of a sudden retires, I don't think so. I think there's something to it. He could develop into a serviceable left tackle and probably be even pretty good. Now I'm not saying he's no, like I said, he's no game breaker at this point, but I would like to see his maturation this season. I will hold my judgment until I see how he performed starting in the preseason and then game one if he is the starter. So I get it. And you expect those type of things for someone that we really didn't know much about. And he was a second round draft pick, and they already said he was going to be a project. He looked way better. They say he was ahead of schedule when he was in the training camp in the offseason. He was. I remember going to the offseason in training camps and watching him and say, oh, well, he don't look that bad, especially on the one-on-ones. When it's most difficult to be good without pads. When you don't have shoulder pads on, it's hard to get and control your defender. He was holding his own. So, I get it. There's something to be said there. But I don't people are just judging PFF. I don't think he was a 50% PFF grade. I just don't think that. And then you go look at the metric. Well, what are they measuring? Because sometimes if it's his job to pass the player on at a certain place, when the defender get to a certain place on the line, but he get a sack, PFF might get that sack to him, not knowing that's not his assignment. He did exactly what he was supposed to do on that play. It's just the guy that he was supposed to pass the defender on to didn't do his job. But PFF don't take film into consideration. You remember when Teron Armstead Lou against Green Bay, he got fooled, and everyone was out here like, oh, Raheem Mostert. Was it Mostert? It was Mostert, right? In Green Bay. They were like, he missed the block. He's terrible. He's supposed to chip and give Armstead some time to pick up the blitz.
Yeah, right? It was on Mostert. Yeah.
We go break up the film. Teron Armstead just got fooled.
Right.
With the same fake blitz that they've been running the whole game. They rushed for. But PFF gave that to Raheem Mostert. Remember out of the game? Oh, look at this. His blocking. It was horrible. Even PFF. No, it wasn't. He was doing his job. He was doing his assignment. Teron Armstead got fooled on that play. but PFF don't show up in the graphs, the pie chart, the analytics. That stuff don't show up, and that's the thing that we're talking about. You have to see how they actually perform on the field, and that's all I'm saying. Let's leave that stuff alone. Um, but yeah, man. So that's my take on. So I'm picking my side. I'm on the side of film. The bird in the sky never lie. Bird in the sky never lies. I'm sorry. You go put on that film, everything that didn't get caught in live, woo, you can pick it up on that film. You most definitely could pick it up on that film. Facts. Without question. You'd be like, oh man. Just like we caught everybody lollygag and they walking and say, oh, well, why is only one person running on this route? Was that a predetermined decision? I'm sorry. The bird in the sky. What's up, Lou? I see you came off mute.
Oh, no. I've been off mute.
Okay. So look, now this is what I do want to ask you before we get I want to get to some of the league news. What do you think about first? I want to get your opinion and chat. Y'all can chime in too. What do you think about James Cook over there putting his house up for sale in Orchard Park?
I mean, it don't matter to me. If I was in Buffalo, I'd be putting my house up for sale too.
I know we were just talking about going to Buffalo. How it was a vibe.
I want to go to Buffalo to see the experience. I'm not trying to live there.
The visit. It's different between being a visitor and being a resident.
I want to be in Buffalo for about maybe 7-8 hours and then get the hell up out of there. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, you don't even want to do a weekend? I think a weekend is best suitable. If it's not cold.
I mean, you know what I mean, but no, okay. I'm not trying to live. No. Yeah. I mean, listen, again, I think I've heard different, kind of stories about what James Cook is asking for. I've heard up to $15 million.
I heard it was 15.
I've heard anywhere between 10 to 15
as well.
Right. Bro, like, stop. Like, what are we doing, man?
Mm-hmm.
Like, James Cook is nice. He's a good player, but he's not a $15 million running back. And there's not many of those in my. I know we were gonna talk about should running backs get paid that, or what do you think and stuff like.
We're gonna cover that shortly right now. Yeah, go ahead.
Like, no, bro. Again, James Cook is not worth that money. I'm sorry.
What do you think? What do you think he's worth? Like, what would you put his comp? Like, if you say in not comp. No, I'm not saying that. What do you think his price range should be?
Like all the other running backs, maybe $5, $6, $7 million a year, something like that.
No, well, most of them around 9 to 13.
And that's overpaid in my opinion. I'm sorry. Like,
oh, really?
Well, again, James Cook is nice, right? This is where the story ends for me. Take Josh Allen off that Buffalo team. What is James Cook?
You know what? We haven't seen him, so I don't know.
Right. Bro, I'll tell you what James Cook
I do think. Let me tell you what I do think. I think the offensive line have a lot to do with that. So I think
okay. So if they got a good offensive line, you're basically saying you could put any running back there for the most part. And
well, not any running back, but I think if you have a competent running back to say, so when I say I wouldn't put him in that special category, not just yet. He had a year and a half to where he looked like he can be one of them dudes, and to me, that's not enough.
Okay. Well, guess what? What you just said right there. I'm not trying to cut you off, Tone, but so he has a year and a half of looking special. You know who has about a year and a half of looking special? Devon Achane. Is he worth $15 million?
That's what I'm saying. I'll be saying the same thing about Devon Achane.
Thank you, and that's the point, right? Like, again, bro. I'm not going to argue, even though I wouldn't have paid Saquon Barkley that money. I'm not going to argue that, right? He's great. Derrick Henry is hot.
Look what Pablo said. He said salute for it's Cook even better than Achane. So y'all on the same lines.
That's what I'm saying, bro. Like, there's a difference.
I'm not market is the market. Tua fan in here.
Yeah, no, I'm not with that, bro. I think again, I know people are in love with this running back now resurgence. Nah, bro, I'm sorry. There's levels. Just like everything in life, there's levels. And I'm sorry, James Cook, even though he's a nice player in the league, you're talking about $15 million. Nah, bro, I'm sorry. Nah.
I heard he was up. He started at 17. If you stand on the 12-foot, you can see all there is to see in Buffalo. Delusion of Patriot fans. Listen, but now I'm not going to. I see what I get it. Um, we're gonna circle back to that because I want to get to this. What do you think about Trey McBride? 4 years, 76 million, 19 a year.
Yeah. Listen, listen, man. He, again, good player, right? Very productive, and
My bad, Billy.
I,
That was Tua said to Marcus
I,
with the mark.
I hate doing the 19.5 million because that's what the contract looks like. He got $43 million guaranteed
Yeah, 43, right? Yeah.
on a
So
4 year deal. On a
so
four
that's
year
what
deal, that's
10.3, I
about 10
guess.
something a year. Yeah, that's about 10 a year.
Yeah,
That sounds about right to me, right?
right.
But so
So
again,
okay, so okay, go finish. I get you.
no, I'm just saying. I mean, basically, that's the point. Like, no, like I'm not mad at the contract because I know when I'm looking at contracts. You heard me the other day, Tom, when I brought up Tua. It gets me so frustrated when the fan base says Tua's contract is 200 plus million. He's almost 55 million. No, he's not.
Yeah, it's 167.
He
So
got
40.
167.
He's in the 40s.
He's $40 million
I think
is what he's
42 and
making.
a half. I think what it is.
Right.
But,
So again, when from that perspective,
or
am I
41 and
mad
a half.
at the Trey McBride contract? No, I am not. No, I think it's a
41 and a
good
half.
deal. Around 10 plus million for 4 years. Yeah, sign me up.
Oh, so now see now that you said that, right? It's going to get me to my next, which is why I want to bring this up. Because we see tight ends starting to get a little bit more money.
Hmm.
They're starting at 20 million. But you see what you said about James Cook
Hmm.
and these running backs, 9, 10 million. You do know the ones that are at 9, 10 to 11 million, they're guaranteed for the most part. All of their guarantees are actually 9, 10, 11 million. So let's use that same logic, right? What you said, and use that with not even that same argument. I'm sorry, with James Cook. Okay, if he asks for 15 million, or if he asks for 17, guarantee him 10 million a year for that though. Make him earn the rest. If
Uh,
you can do that. Okay, when you want, because see, like you said, for the ones that are getting the 10, the 9, it's guaranteed for them. You know what I'm saying? Fully guaranteed. They usually on 1 or 2 year deals. The Albert Camaras, they're up there. So why not? Because we know what it is. He wanted to
hmm.
look good. He wanted to get his peers are getting paid.
Right.
You don't guarantee him what Saquon
What
Barkley is getting
Saquon
guaranteed.
Barkley got.
Make
Right.
the contract look good, and you know, but we guarantee you this is what gonna come against our cap though. We got 9,
Hmm.
10 million for you. The best I could do is 11, my brother. And I think,
The,
because like I said, when it comes to negotiating, both sides had to feel like they had to give something up. They had to feel like they lost something. They can't be happy. But now, devil's advocate here, there's so many running backs coming out and young running backs
the,
that you got
and
to be
and
careful with what you're asking for.
but that's the point right there, Tom. I would much rather get in the business of drafting a running back in every draft. I'm gonna keep them coming. And every 4 to 5 years, hey man, it is what it is. I'm not re-upping you, especially if you want. Even bro, even with the guaranteed money, and you're talking about, we'll give them 10 million a year. Bro, for a running back, I'm sorry, bro. Nah, I'm gonna get A Chain. I'm gonna have A Chain for another 2 years, and then if A Chain wants to break the bank, hey, he can go. I got Jalen Wright. And then this year, Tony, how many running backs are in this year's draft that are good?
Ooh, at least about 10.
Thank you. So I'm gonna grab one this year, and after A Chain, if he don't want to resign for a reasonable number, it's on to Jalen Wright, and then the rookie is gonna be behind Jalen Wright, and another one, and another. I'm just gonna rotate them like that, bro. I'm sorry.
Um,
Like
uh,
I'm not in the business, bro. And especially, you know what I would do, Tom? I would get a running back, and I know it's not a popular opinion. I would even maybe draft a running back, every couple years in the first round. If I see one that's generational or
I
something
often
like
say
that, so
now
I
I
can
don't,
get.
I don't know about in the first round, but
Well, I'm saying like Gentry this season,
Yeah,
right?
Genty. Yeah, yeah.
If he was there at 13, I know people. It's not a popular opinion, but if you take him now, you can even use the 5th-year option. So instead of having that running back for 4 years, you got him for the 5th-year option if you want to without signing them, and then after 5 years, you let the running back go,
You
bro.
would take
There's a
him with this team?
well, I'm just using him as an
Oh, okay,
example,
okay, okay. I got it, got it, got it, got
right?
it. Yeah.
What I'm saying is like I think, and we probably have to fact check this or whatever, but I think they say the shelf life for running backs in the NFL is about 3.5 years. That's the shelf life.
Mm.
So why am I giving a
Might be four and
second
a half,
contract?
5 years, I think.
Okay, so look, there you go. I'll even meet you. 4 years, 5 years. Why am I giving them a second year? Why am I giving them a second contract then? If the shelf life in the league is 4 to 5 years, why would I get them and sign them for year 7 and 8? And then look at Derrick Henry, been in the league for 10 years and just got a
We
3-year
both was
extension.
off, Lou.
What?
We both was off. It's 2.7. Well, 2.6.
Well, that's what I said. I basically almost 3 years. I gave it
Jeez.
3. So this is what I'm saying. So now we talking about re-signing running backs and giving them re-signing them for year 7 and 8. No, bro. I'm sorry. The league has never been like that. I'm going to draft a running back every year or even every 2 years, and I'm gonna keep it pushing. I'm sorry. It just is what it is, bro. This is not the 70s and 80s. You're not getting the Mercury Morris and Larry Zonkas of the world, and you're running down teams' throat. In this league in 2025, I don't care what everybody says about the trenches and the running backs. And yeah, it's a cool story. What you need is a passing game, and how you're gonna win is it's a passing league. Point blank period. Who's the running? Hey, Tone, real quick. Who's the running back in Cincinnati? You know him?
Yeah, Chase Brown.
Right. What did he do last year?
It was all right.
Yeah, cool. Joe Burrow threw for 5,000.
Yeah. Right, right. You know,
They had the Triple Crown winner over there.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Mike Gesicki was productive. Did it stop them not having a running game? Did it stop that offense?
No.
Did it hamper Joe Burrow?
No.
Thank you. Like, what are we talking about, bro? I'm not trying to hear this running back thing. No, bro, there's not a running back. Again, y'all can have y'all Saquon Barkley and be like, oh, I see, Lou. I told you. I'm going to stop.
There go your boy,
Stop.
Lou. Cam Scatterboot could bring back the Zonka vibes back.
What everybody knows, I already told everybody Cam Scatterboot is European. I told everybody that.
Yeah, there you go. You want Scatterboot, though.
Yeah, but again, but that's
on a
the
rookie
point.
contract, though. I get it.
I draft him.
Yeah.
I'm not signing Scatterboot for 10 years.
Yeah. I think you have both to play devil from. I ain't gonna say to play devil's advocate to your argument. Most teams in the NFL that are successful, they have a running back tandem. They have two serviceable backs that keep the defenses honest when they're in there, so he can use that. But like I said, there are levels. Like I think that's the best argument you can have with him because there are levels. Like okay, cool, but we can't afford you to pay $17 million a year. Especially with all of the people that they resign. They resign dang on everybody over there.
Do you think James Cook is worth $10 million?
Yes, James Cook. If he's paid $10 or $11 million, yeah. I would say because he's right in mid pack where everyone else is there, and you still need a veteran on your team, and then you got to look at they just signed what the other running back, the third screen, I think Ted Johnson, whatever his name, Todd Johnson. They extended him to a cheap contract, but they extended him.
Hey, Tone, you know how much money the Dolphins paid for the running back, the room in 2023?
Probably around $11 million.
$7.5 million.
How much was hold on, no, how much was Mostert getting?
I think like 2.5, 3.
That's all he was getting.
And then Jeff Wilson was like,
you ain't gonna pay me, and you ain't gonna play me.
The running back room they paid remember they were trying to get Dalvin Cook and people were saying, oh, give Dalvin $7-8 million a season. Remember that?
Yeah.
The Dolphins in 2023 paid $7.5 million, and they had the leading touchdown getter in Raheem Mostert with 18 touchdowns and over 1,000 yards. And they had a rookie,
That was
Devon
23.
A-Chain, that missed 6 games, right, or 8 games, had like 800 yards. They paid $7 million for the running back room.
I wouldn't use the Dolphins. They ain't do nothing with
Again,
that.
but for this discussion, it's perfect.
How much did Philadelphia spend on their running back room though?
I don't give a damn about none of that.
Now they won a Super Bowl.
And again, and that is
Well, you
absolutely fine.
don't pay for their running back room either, Kansas City Chiefs. That would have been a better argument for you.
Well, either way, that Philadelphia argument. I don't care about the Philadelphia Eagles because that Super Bowl, that $20 million guy had 40 yards in the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
so when Kansas,
no.
Right, he got him there. But again, you know what Kansas City decided to do in that Super Bowl? Not let him run.
Yeah. They loaded the box.
So again, if other teams load the box, then that $20 million guy is useless. That's what he is. That's what he is.
Yeah, I mean, well, they were successful at loading the box because the reason he was breaking a lot of them big runs because everyone loaded the box and he is one broken tackle away from him being out the back door. That's why he has so many 50, 60, 70-yard rushes. But I get what you're saying. I'm not debating your argument.
No, okay. Yeah, I get you.
Yeah, I'm not debating. I'm saying when teams are successful, especially in the biggest game, it's like, but they still paid them because they understand his value. I don't mind paying paying a quarter of a running back like him because his value is there. The Christian McCaffreys of the real. Matter of fact, let's use that to transition to my last topic that I want to say, which is we see McBride, he got paid, and then you see Buffalo, them not wanting to pay James Cook, and then last season you saw it was like pulling teeth to get those running backs that got paid last season, Jonathan Taylor, Josh Jacob. Who else left and went to another team? Derrick Henry. It's another one that I don't I can't think of right now. DeAndre Swift, I think he went. He probably went there already 2 years. But anyway, and you saw them. They are. It seemed like the tight ends don't have a problem getting their money, but the running backs are. So I would pose you this question: who you think are more valuable nowadays? Tight ends or running backs?
This answer is going to be short and sweet for me. Tony, who do they say that is the quarterback safety blanket?
Tight end.
Thank you. End the conversation.
Well, glad you said that because I'm on the opposite side of that spectrum. So who you think have a bigger impact on their team success then? Tight ends or running?
Tight end.
Based on what? Your top tight ends determine the impact that tight ends changing trajectory of franchises.
No, forget about the top 10. Now, can a running back help out a tight end?
Yeah. But make it team low, put 8 in the box. Yes.
Okay, cool. Now, can a tight end help a running back?
Hold on, Lou, you going in and out. I can't. I just heard you say tight end help.
So you said the running back can help the tight end. Can a tight end help the running back?
Yeah, blocking for sure.
Okay. In my opinion, I would much rather have a blocking tight end that can also run routes, catch the ball, break some tackles. Again, it's just splitting hairs here. For me, though, I'm giving the edge for a legitimate tight end, right? Like you see the Tony Gonzalez's of the world.
We saw,
right?
Not see. We saw. I'm talking about right now in today's age.
Okay. Well, did you see Travis Kelce?
There you go. You got Travis Kelce.
Now, did you see what Gronkowski did all those years for the Patriots?
He's not there no more.
No.
You talk about right now. I'm talking about tight ends getting paid now. That's not. I'm talking about right now. The tight ends that getting paid now versus the running back that's getting paid now.
You just said Kansas City don't value their running backs, correct?
Right, that's a fact. Yeah.
Travis
Travis
Kelce has
Kelce is
gotten
very
paid
valuable.
multiple contracts, and they played in 5 or 6 straight AFC Championship games and 4 Super Bowls.
Mm-hmm.
Now you tell me who's more valuable
On that team, Travis Kelce. Travis Kelce is a generational tight end.
Oh, so now we're
Like,
going by team,
but that's only
or
one. Now, what about the rest of the tight ends? What did Trey McBride do for Arizona?
Well, again, so what are we talking? So what are we again?
Nah,
are we just talking about?
Let's think about the running back. Saquon
Are we
Barkley
just talking? Okay, he won the Super Bowl. That's one.
Okay. Look at the trajectory that Derrick Henry. Look at the impact that he had on Baltimore.
They didn't have nothing. They won playoff games before he got there. I ain't trying
to.
They
didn't. Not. No, they didn't. They won one.
They
won
one. Lamar Jackson had two playoff
No, he
games.
didn't. He only had one victory before this season.
No, he didn't. No, he didn't. Stop. No, he didn't.
Let's say he won two. I think it was only one, but let's say, remember, his biggest thing is that he only had one playoff.
Again, no. I brought up, hold on real quick, Tone. I brought up Travis Kelce Super Bowls.
Yeah. Okay, Saquon Barkley. And I matched that with Saquon Barkley.
Okay, and you brought up Saquon Barkley, Super Bowls. Other than that, no one else has done shit. Because again, Baltimore, your next guy, Tone.
Hold on. You're going to let me go because you're not letting me finish. You got one that went to a team. Well, he got drafted. He went to Super Bowls. Cool. That's fine. Andy did wonders. But, God dog it. Christian McCaffrey. They traded him from Panthers.
Never won.
Super Bowl.
That's
won. 2. I gave you 2.
They didn't win.
No, but he went to a Super Bowl. Oh, hold on. Okay, you got your Kelce. I'm showing you who have a bigger impact. Tight ends. One won the Super Bowl, and I gave you Saquon Barkley. Now let's use the rest of the tight end versus the rest of the running back and see who have a bigger impact.
Tone, the 49ers went to a Super Bowl without Christian McCaffrey. Without him.
Yes, they did. They did.
So how much value did he add? They had already went to one.
When was it?
When Jimmy Garoppolo was there.
How long ago was that?
Stop, Tone. Bro, that was the same team.
Hold on, I'm asking you, how long ago was that?
Was that not the same team?
No, it wasn't the same team.
Was Deebo not there?
What? Pretty much? Almost pretty much the same team. Yeah.
Well, again.
Hold on. But before he got there, they didn't go to the Super Bowl 2 years straight, right? Matter of fact.
Tom, real quick. You said Christian McCaffrey, right?
Yeah.
All right. Who's the tight end for that team?
George Kittle. That's what I was going to use that right there because George Kittle was there the whole time. So he didn't leave. He didn't leave when they didn't make it. He didn't leave. He was still there, and they didn't go back.
Again, he was there when they went the first time without Christian McCaffrey.
Okay, cool. They went without Christian McCaffrey. They did have a great run game that year too, though.
I ain't trying to hear that.
They did. You did. Yes,
I ain't trying to hear that.
That's the truth. They had a great run game that year. That's when Mostert and they were running back by committee. Everyone that went in that backfield, they was 10 a league up, right? They had a great running game that year. But
I ain't trying to hear that.
Christian McCaffrey go over there. Look at the difference that he make on that team.
What difference?
What do you? They go back to the Super Bowl. They didn't go 2 years prior to that, but he goes over there. They go back to the Super Bowl, and he made a great impact. Look how much Joe Mixon helped out. They Stroud won. They won the same amount of playoff games, but he helped them out a lot. You get what I'm saying? When he went over there, he helped them out a lot. Karen Williams. Look how much he helped out the LA Rams. He helped out a lot.
Joe Mixon got to Houston this year, correct?
Yeah, this year, yeah.
Okay, last year they won the same amount of playoff games, and Dalton Schultz went over there.
Yeah, no, he didn't. Did he? Well, that's his first year.
Dalton Schultz been there for 2 years.
Yeah, but he didn't make a difference though.
They won a playoff game.
He didn't. What did he do? Just because he on the team, don't mean he doing something.
I ain't trying to hear that. No.
What did he do? What did he do?
I ain't trying. So what did Joe Mixon do?
Because you're trying to use this foolish argument. He didn't
do
nothing.
What did Joe Mixon do?
Joe Mixon was top 5 right now in running ball. Are you crazy? He was leading the league for most. What? Remember, he was leading. It was him.
CJ Stroud had a worse season with Joe Mixon in the building.
And they still won the same amount of playoff games because Joe Mixon.
He had a worse season.
Remember, everybody thought it was going to be that sophomore slump. What they did, they went and got him Joe Mixon, and then they still did what they want to do. That's all. Look how Detroit looked with Jameer Gibbs and David Montgomery. Look. They want nobody would talk about Sam Laporta like that.
Sam Laporta, his rookie season when he had over 1,000 yards.
They didn't.
Is that what you talking about?
They didn't go to the NFC Championship game.
Is that what you talking about?
Yeah. But they didn't go to the NFC Championship game.
Have you lost your mind?
You have to. So who had a big impact on that team?
Have you lost your mind?
No. You had to. Did Laporta have a bigger impact or David Montgomery and Jameer Gibbs? Let's be real.
Hey, I get it, man. You ready to pay running backs $37 million?
No. I'm not. I'm saying if you got the same argument about running back, you should have the same argument about tight ends not getting paid. That's what I'm saying. Because why are we paying tight ends? They don't have a big impact than what running backs have on football teams. They don't. T.J. Hawkinson was in Minnesota for a couple of years. They put Aaron Jones over there. They go 15-1. Or 15-2. Sorry. Bigger impact. That's all I'm saying. When it comes to running back versus tight end, it's not even a question. I don't even know how we having this.
Didn't T.J. Hawkinson get traded to Minnesota mid through the season last year?
I don't know if it was mid through the season. No, yeah. I think he played the whole season last year. Oh no, we can look that up now.
No, I think he got traded there though.
I don't think so because he was my tight end last year, and he got and this year. So I know. Well, it could have been mid-season. I don't know.
I think he was a mid-season trade. I think.
Look, I'm gonna look it up right now. T.J. Hawkinson. Here we go. No, he's been there for 3 years. He got there in 2022. No, I ain't tripping. He was my tight end for my fantasy team.
Again, listen. At the end of the day,
I'm just saying, running backs have bigger impacts than the who got a better who.
All I know, that is fine. I'm gonna concede to your notion, right?
I got one more. Who had a better impact on their team? Kyle Pitts or what my boy name? I love it. I had it.
Neither, because Atlanta
Bijan Robinson or Bijan Robinson.
Atlanta hasn't done shit, so neither.
Bijan, stop.
Okay, cool. Again, that is fine, and all that shit goes
way better than tight ends.
Okay, running backs is better than tight ends, according to Tony. All I know that when I look in the NFL now, Tony, can you bring out back? No. Put down the water and grab that phone again, because I need you to look up some numbers for me real quick.
Go ahead.
Now you just said the shelf life for running backs are 2.7 years in the NFL. Right? Can you tell me the shelf life for tight ends?
All right. Hold on, look it up. Average career. They ain't up there.
Now it ain't up there.
I can't find it, dog.
No, I know you can't. I know you can't.
3.3.
Now I don't know how y'all.
They won in 1.3 more years. 3 years. 3.3.
Hey, in my public school that I went to, right? Even though it was a small public school.
Okay, cool.
3.3 is bigger than 2.7. That's all I know.
Okay, cool. Right. So you have a longer 1 year more with that, but running backs have more of an effect on your team.
Hey, Tone, can you read that comment?
Got him. Hey, well, they got They been 1 year more. Cool, but they still not affecting the team as much. They're not. I'm sorry. Who had a bigger impact on Baltimore? Mark Andrews, Isaiah Likely, or Derrick Henry?
That's debatable. That's
Yo,
debatable.
this shit crazy. Yo, running backs have changed the trajectory of more franchises than any tight end in the league. You could go Travis Kelsey, maybe Tony Gonzalez, maybe what's my boy Antonio Gates. Gronk, obviously. Shannon Sharp. Them boys was, they was something when they got in the league. Cool. But you can run down a whole list. When you get to a dynamic running back, they could change the trajectory of your team.
You didn't like Charles Clay from Miami?
He was better at Buffalo. How about that? How about that? Nah, bro. I don't know. Chat, y'all decide. What side? Man, pick a side, man. I'm on the side of the running backs, man.
All I know, listen, Tone. All I know, what we figured out, running backs should be paid on average $2.7 million per season, and tight ends should be paid $3.3 million.
Well, you know what? All right,
that's
man.
what
I
we
can
got.
see that. I can see the argument there, man. Can't get it. Dang, tight ends becoming hybrid. They are. They more of receivers. My shoebox got delayed to my. Hey, I know how you feel, my boy. Mine got delayed damn near a week. About 4 days, but boy,
that Amazon Prime sucks in Canada, boy. I'll tell you that.
I didn't have Prime, so that's probably why. He said, "Film undefeated." It is. Film is undefeated, man. Let them know, Triple S, man. It's all about the running backs, man. Ooh, Dundee dropping bombs. Talk to him, Dundee. Running backs have more touches and fluid the defense more.
All I know, it's like I think it's like 4 something in the morning over there right now where Dundee is. Dundee, go to sleep, Dundee. Get some sleep, man.
Listen, man. Listen, them running backs.
Hey, shout out to Tone. Today Dundee was in the space. I was in there for a little bit. Dundee said it was like 6 o'clock in the afternoon or in the evening where he was at, and this was at like 11, 12 o'clock. So I know it's late as hell. Dundee, again, from a friend to a friend. Go to sleep, dog. 4
o'clock in the morning then now.
Yeah, go to sleep, dog. Go to sleep. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, listen. With the Dolphin trade for a top tight end like they did for Ricky Williams, you let me know. Talk to him, Gameboy 305. Talk to him. We know who impacted the game.
Well, Game Boy, let me ask you this. Do you think the Miami Heat would trade for a tight end or a running back for Tyler Hero? What do you think?
Fred, what's good? Fred say what's up. He's Dundee say I'm trying. He said I'm trying. Hey man, why? You know what I just noticed?
Hey, I appreciate Dundee coming through, man. So
I noticed this. Why every time we get Friday episodes, everybody want to show up late. Everyone shows up late on Friday episode. You know said we was rocking 18, 20, 24 the whole time. Now it's 33 of y'all in the building. We about to wrap it up. Y'all been listening to the Blitz Pickup too much. Y'all starting to be late on Friday. You know what? I'm gonna start calling a happy hour with the Blitz Pickup, so y'all know to come in here early.
Real quick, I see Fred in the chat, and Fred was on Pete's channel the other day. I hopped up for a little bit because Pete was talking about Shedeur Sanders' tone, and I told Fred that in my opinion, Shedeur Sanders reminds me a lot of Tua Tagovailoa. I coined the phrase Tua 2.0. Fred, I want you to go find the video of ESPN analyst Dan Orlovsky. Today said his comp for Shedeur Sanders is no other than Tua Tagovailoa. Timing, rhythm, accuracy, anticipation, it's crazy to me that all the Shedeur Sanders fans that we have in the Dolphin fan base are the same people that cry about how much they do not like Tua Tagovailoa. It's crazy to me.
Do you think he folds in the big moments like Tua though?
Listen, at the end of the day, I would say define what you mean by fold. Because do I think the man... I'll say it like this, Tom. I don't think he's the best version of himself against the bigger time talent.
Okay, and that's a fair assessment because that would determine, because I think he stays healthy. I've seen him perform in big games, but you didn't get the job done. I've seen him also get in the big game. Like we seen him in the bowl game. He looked at trash. Boy looked horrible. When the light shine, but he looked horrible. And I'm sorry, that's the only thing I could go by. So if that is 2 or 2.0, I'm sorry, we did this dance already. I'm done. We're not doing the same old two-step. Deion Sanders can hype you up all he wants. But Deion, first of all, is not going to be your coach anymore. He's not going to be able to hold your hand. You, for the first time in your life, you're going to be playing on a team that's not coached by your father. So, sorry, I'd rather be proven wrong with you on another team than on this team. I said that too, Andrevius. Couldn't win the SWAC championship with better team than every HBO and looked like shit in one of the bowl games he played. I did say that. One of the bowl games he did not play well. The second one he threw 4 touchdowns and was but you still didn't get the job done. So I'm sorry. Their team is going to win. Their team, because I think he lost that game in overtime, which means your team had to get stopped and the other team didn't. And if you that guy, they gonna stop them over there before they stop my team. We're way better.
In this year's bowl game, Tone. Now, Shedeur Sanders during the season was a projected top 5 overall pick. Now, things might have changed now, but during the season, he was considered a top 5 overall pick. On the same team, Tone, he had another top 5 overall pick.
That dude was also in the SWAC with him at Jackson State.
Also in the SWAC. He was down 31-0 going into the fourth quarter against BYU, bro.
Yeah. Oh, Zach Wilson was on that team? You talking about Zach Wilson alma mater?
Zach Wilson's alma mater.
Hey, listen, I would love to keep the show going, but unfortunately, I have to go pick up my daughter. It's nice.
Oh, real quick. You want before you go, let me give you this quick fun fact. Tua was picked number 5 overall. Justin Herbert was picked 6.
Ooh.
Right? Zach Wilson was picked number 2 overall.
2 overall.
Trey Lance was picked number 3.
3. Oh, God.
Look at where we are now, that the number 2 overall pick is now sitting behind. He's the backup for number 5 overall. And number 3 overall pick is now the backup for the 6th overall pick with the Los Angeles Chargers. That's another stat I knew. That's a stat. Shout out to TFTG.
No. Trey Lance is Trey Lance.
He just signed with the Chargers.
With the Chargers, yeah, that's crazy.
So number 2 and number 3 are now sitting behind number 5 and number 6. Yeah, and they got drafted after those guys.
That is
how crazy that sounds,
in a respectful draft.
Hey, shout out to the TFTG boys. Shake Money and Crypto brought out that stat earlier, man. Shout out to them boys.
Hey, real quick before we got you brought up, I wanted to talk about one more quarterback. Your guy. Well, it's our guy because I'm rooting for the guy too. I will want him over Shedeur Sanders because of the arm strength and the scrambling ability. Jackson Dart. There's rumors that he might be that the Steelers might be looking to draft him. What are your thoughts on that, Lou?
I love it.
I'll say this. If he goes to Pittsburgh, it's the same thing that I said with Will Howard, because I think he's a way better prospect than Will Howard. And I was like, if he goes somewhere like Pittsburgh where you just don't know how to mess it up, it's going to be a problem. Jackson Dart, because he's a playmaker.
Pittsburgh, if Pittsburgh gets Jackson Dart, Tone, Pittsburgh is now a problem in the AFC.
That's going to be a problem. I'm sorry. That's going to be a problem, my people. I mean, take it how you want. That's just my opinion. Hey, this is all opinionated. I'm just saying. And what? Before we get out of here, where's the highest you think the Miami Dolphins should pick a quarterback in this draft? Tony, we know you want Will Howard at 13. I meant to say Will Johnson.
That's crazy. Tone, like I told you, bro. Again, I know people don't
Realistically, though,
want.
realistically, like realistically, because they're
Okay,
not taking him.
realistically, I would not have a problem if at maybe not at 48, but I don't think none of these guys. I like a Will Howard. I don't think he's going to be there at 98. I don't think a Jalen Milroe would be there at 98. I would have no problem if one of those guys was there late in the second, maybe early in the third. If Miami wanted to trade up to get like a Will Howard in the early in the third, or trade up for Jalen Milroe, like somewhere beginning of the third, middle third, I would not have a problem with that. I think they should pull the trigger. I'm sorry.
So you think they should? Okay. I don't think
If it,
so. Now I don't think they should
but
waste any draft capital to go and get that guy, unless, like I said, unless they solely sold on moving on from Tua, which I know you think is this next year or at the end of this season. But if someone does in the third round fall to you, take a fly on. I'm sorry,
absolutely.
get one of them. I would. Um, G is obsessed with Milroe, bro. Like,
Bro, I'm telling you, I wouldn't even be mad though. I wouldn't.
not at 13. Oh, he said Nick at 13, Milroe at 4. I'm not taking him at 48 either. I'm sorry.
I wouldn't be mad at that though.
I'm not. Now, I'm mad at him because if you take him at 48, Tua shouldn't be on his team.
Well, see, and because you told me, Tone, to be realistic. That's why I
Yeah.
didn't say it. I'm with CCRR. I'm sorry. I'm just with him.
What
If
he
Dark
said?
said 13, I would take Dark.
Oh, me too. Me too. Me too.
I would. If Jackson Dark was there at 13, I would take him.
I changed my stance on that because I don't think they're moving off of Tua.
Well, no, because you said trenches. I don't care about none of that.
No,
If Jackson Dark,
no. The only trench guy I said I would take is to let them move back to get Grant, Kenneth Grant. But if at 13 I'm sticking Nick Imawari, Malachi Starks, or there was one more person I said I would take at 13. Oh, Will Johnson. Will Johnson, I'm sorry. Josh Simmons at 13 is a heck no. Hell to the no. No. What, are you going to play guard? Because he only played tackle because the other dude got injured. I know you're an Ohio State fan, but nah, Triple S. Hey, nah. Nah, we ain't doing that. Nah. No. But
I'm glad when you put that Shake Money comment, the first thing out your mouth was nah, because that's what I was thinking. Nah, hey, Tony ain't cooking again.
I'm always cooking Shake. Shout out to Shake Money. I'm always cooking.
I'm glad you said nah. I'm glad you said no.
He said can't be scared to miss. I do believe in that. CCR, that is a fact. But you take a swing like that, get Tua out of the building. If they do that, I'm all with it. Take Jackson Dart at 13, find a trade for Tua. I'm cool.
You believe, Tone, so Billy is in the chat saying Dart will be there at 48. You think he gets to 48?
If Dart get to 48. Now.
No, but do you think he
not
will
a
get
chance? I think I'm gonna put it like this. I think Shadur might get to 48 before Dart do.
Facts. That is a fact.
I'm just saying. Listen, I root for Shadur as a player and as a person. I'm sorry, but I just, with the quarterback purgatory that we've been in since we've been here, I'm sorry, bro. I'm not willing to take a chance because you got to go high. He's not gonna fall like that. I know that now. He should. I mean, he could. I'm sorry, but he's not. I'm not willing to spend no draft capital on a guy that high that I don't believe in. I'm not. I'm sorry. I know it's people in this fan base that believe in him, but you know what? When Tua was in the draft, what was that D tackle that came out? Everybody was saying he was a can't miss prospect. He's at Washington. Did Washington drop? Yeah, Washington dropped the second overall. What was the D tackle name?
In what draft? And what
Huh?
draft?
Tua's draft.
Oh, was that Dwan Payne?
No. The dude with the gold dreads.
Oh,
Everybody say he was a can't miss prospect.
Chase Young.
Chase Young. Everybody said he was the one can't miss prospect in that draft. And look what happened. Oh, he played DN? My bad, Rashad. Nah, I thought Chase Young played tackle. Well, whatever he played. DN, tackle. There you go, Triple S. I see it. Listen, I don't want to hear nothing about these can't miss prospects. I don't want to hear none of that. I'm sorry. Everyone have their opinion. This is only opinionated. So what? I'm not willing to risk that much capital on a quarterback like that with Tua on this team. No, I'm sorry. You know what? I'm not gonna say can't miss. If I'm giving an honest assessment, I don't think he's a can't miss. Now I like his potential to be dynamic in the league. I like it, but see, if I take away my fandom, I said even when we was in the season, and Lewis could contest to this, that I said I want to see how he do in the playoffs. He got to show me that to the teams in the playoffs. We didn't even make the playoffs. So I still, I'm talking about trash because of my fandom. But if I'm giving my honest assessment, I don't know, bro. I see the skills. I see the skill set, but do it show up against them? Now, when he was at Washington State, and Washington was, I think, ranked number 3 or number 1 overall, whatever, he did show up in that game. I will say that. He did show up in the game. And I think they upset them. So I saw that, but do it in the playoff when the lights are brighter, when the stakes are higher, when people tend to tense up, and yeah, that pressure get on you. So he still have to show me when he get in the league. So I wouldn't say that he's there is not one can't miss prospect in this draft that I would say. There isn't.
Not even Cam Ward?
No, that's what I'm talking about, Cam Ward, because he said I don't think. Okay. Remember, I'm saying I don't think Cam Ward. Remember when we had that real honest talk, and when everybody was was talking about Cam, I was like, listen, I'm gonna be real with you. He got to show me in the playoffs. I'm treating him like I do Tua. Show me against them teams in the playoffs.
Right.
It's all fine and dandy that you're doing. Just stop and shout that Will Johnson. So if I'm giving my honest assessment, when it comes to the league, bro, you got to show me. I'm arguing with Louis DeBay because you played for the UM and you put on, you know what I'm saying? We had a good time. But, bro, when you get in the league, you're going to have to show me, bro. Because you haven't played that competition yet. Haven't seen it. I'm rooting for you too. But, like I say, what we both said, Lou, I always say, nah, I'm not trading up to get him. No. He fall to us, cool.
Facts.
I'm not trading up to go get him. He had to show me enough. A lot of people wild people in the offseason. I just brought up Jamarcus Russell, Ryan Leaf. They were debating him or Peyton Manning. Wow. Oh, I don't want to bring up the Ohio State quarterbacks and hurt Triple S feelings. But I say Brady Quinn. Y'all remember Brady Quinn? They ain't even dropped him in the first round, did they? He was at Notre Dame doing his thing, though.
Who?
Exactly. No. So that's my honest assessment. It's almost 9:30. I have to go get my daughter. So we gotta end it right here. Lou, you got anything before we get up out of here?
Salute to everybody coming through, man. I know it's a Friday. I know people are probably going out, getting ready, doing their thing. So we appreciate y'all for coming through. I love y'all. And peace, man.
Listen, man. Remember, Monday is our 100 episode. Make sure y'all tell a friend. We need everybody in here. Get us up. We was at 440. Listen, man, we trying to get 100. We are 36 away from 500. Please subscribe if you're not subscribed. Hit that like button. We got 23 likes. Right now, what we was at? I think we was at 38. I forgot what we was. So if you didn't hit the like on the way in, please hit that like button on the way out. Make sure y'all tell everyone that y'all know to subscribe to the channel. Y'all see us putting on 100 episode. We will see y'all Monday. Peace out.
Hey, Tone, real quick.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
You know what we need? You said we're 36.
Him, her, him, bodies.
That is a fact.
That is what we need. We need 36 bodies, man.
Bodies. Him, her. That's who y'all tell. Him. Matter of fact, that's
Absolutely.
how we go. Every show open now on, Lou. This is who we need for y'all. Him, her. Bodies. Make sure y'all get everybody subscribe. Show y'all support. You know what I'm saying? Y'all see how we doing it. We doing it the right way. We building a real core fan base, people that come over here because they rock with us. They get over here. Y'all get them over here. It's our job to keep them over here. And that's a fact. But Monday we'll see y'all 7:30 is. Peace out.
Peace.